Everything from Obamacare to taxes, fracking to immigration is up for debate in Bay Ridge as candidates face off, answering questions given to them by the audience.
Thank you all for coming.
A first concern to the attendees, the ISIS takeover of Iraq and Syria. Voters want to know how the U.S. government will stop the attack on all civilized society.
The last thing I want to do is send anyone into harm's way. That's the last thing I want to do. But the reality is we're at war. They've declared war on us.
Brooklyn Staten Island Congressman Michael Grimm, who's up for re-election in November, wants to, quote, obliterate the extremists. He called President Obama's foreign policy one of appeasement, blaming the commander-in-chief for the looming threat of an ISIS attack on American soil.
He has made so many missteps on the international stage that our enemies have been emboldened and our allies lack confidence. The reality is the airstrikes are good, but without a strong coalition and some American forces to help guide them, it's going to be close to impossible to defeat them. And defeat is the only option. Trust me, they're coming here. They're probably already here. It is scary. We need to be concerned. We need to be vigilant. Can we destroy them? Yes, but only if we're completely committed. And right now, I don't believe our president is fully committed.
The congressman is facing federal criminal charges of perjury, fraud, and tax evasion. His trial is scheduled for December, after the election is done. The man running against him, Dominic Recchia, skipped the debate. Bay Ridge's state Senate seat is also up for grabs in November. The man who now holds the job, and wants to keep it, is Senator Martin Golden. Of the many issues important to him, a top one is helping Catholic schools. He's the sponsor of a bill to change the tax code so that schools, public and parochial, would get something they desperately need: money.
Education tax credit is something I'm going to fight for all of our religious schools so that we can have a better education, a better choice. Like charter schools, like public schools, we should have choice.
Senator Golden's opponent, James Kemmerer, promoted raising taxes on the wealthy. Protecting life was up for debate by the candidates of the New York State Assembly. In January, the Assembly passed a bill strongly pushed by Governor Andrew Cuomo that would have permitted the killing of babies up until the moment of birth. The Senate has stopped the measure, for now. Assemblywoman Nicole Maliotakis, running for re-election, says that the bill, masquerading under the name Women's Equality Act, should be stopped for good.
80% of people in this state of New York, even those that are pro-choice, would agree that the Women's Equality Act that has been put on the Assembly floor is not a bill that they support because of that late-term abortion provision. There is already access to abortion here in the state of New York. In fact, 41% of pregnancies in New York City end in abortion, and that is a sad reality.
The Assemblywoman voted against the bill. Her opponent, Mary Beth Melendez, supports it. Following the debate, all candidates were thanked and applauded by the 200 voters present. Ultimately, the voters will decide which of these candidates end up in office. Polls open November 4th. Reporting for Currents from Bay Ridge, I'm Katie Breidenbach.